You all may be seated. Miss Henry.
Yes, ma'am.
Mrs. Henry, excuse me.
All right, guys, this case starts like many child support disputes, but it quickly turns into something deeper. A mother walks into court asking for more money from her husband, soon-to-be ex. On the surface, it sounds like a financial disagreement. But as the judge begins asking simple questions, the math starts to look surprisingly balanced. So the real question becomes, is this about the kids or something else entirely?
Okay, but he's not under a court order, right?
No, ma'am. He just gives
So
me...
he voluntarily gives you $1,000 a month for child support?
Yes, and exactly, voluntarily gives me money. Every
But
now and
that's
then...
a good thing, right?
Every now and then he gives me money, and most time I'm begging for him to give me money.
Right away, the judge focuses on something critical in family law. There's no court order yet. That means the father is voluntarily giving money every month. And in many cases, voluntary support actually works in a parent's favor in court. The judge now wants clarity, because when someone is already contributing, the court must determine whether additional support is truly necessary or simply requested.
Like I said, I need more money for my children. They're in activities, private school. I just need more money. And it's not, I'm not jealous of him or anything like that. That's what he said before, but I'm not.
You said they're in activities and they go to private school, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Isn't it fair to assume that the $1,000 is covering that?
Now the mother explains the core of her argument: private school, activities, and everyday expenses. Those things can absolutely justify higher support in some cases. But the judge immediately begins calculating the numbers in real time. If tuition alone equals the amount the father already pays, then the court needs proof that additional money is required. Without evidence, claims can start to fall apart quickly.
As best you can, try not to interject until I'm done speaking with her, and I promise I will come over to you.
Yes, thank you, because I was talking.
I was talking to him. I did not need you to echo me,
Yes,
okay?
ma'am.
All right. Now, you answer my questions.
Yes, ma'am.
Wouldn't it be fair to say that with the tuition as well as the children's expenses, that $1,000 is covering that?
Notice how the judge maintains strict courtroom control here. When the husband interrupts, she shuts it down immediately. That's important because in family court, emotions often run high. But the judge's role is to filter out the noise and focus strictly on facts, finances, and the children's best interests. And right now, she's building a very precise financial picture.
Patient schedule between the two of you.
He has the kids Sunday through Wednesday.
That's split.
He's still...
So let me just make sure I got this straight. He's voluntarily giving you $1,000 a month for child support,
Yes,
correct?
that's correct.
He has the children, you said Sunday through Wednesday?
Yes.
Which means you have them Wednesday through Sunday.
Here's where things start to shift. The judge confirms the visitation schedule, and it's a split custody arrangement. That changes everything. When both parents share time nearly equally, courts often expect both sides to carry financial responsibility for the children during their parenting time. In other words, the father already paying extra might not be legally required.
So I'm confused as to why you're here. Are you trying to put him on,
I want to put him on
You
child
want to
support.
put him on child support
Yes,
for
ma'am.
the $1,000, or are you trying to put him on child support for something more?
Something more, yes.
Okay, let me move over to, well, before I move over to him, what do you do for a living?
The judge now looks at both parents' incomes. The mother earns about $60,000 a year, and the father earns roughly $82,000 as a truck driver. That difference matters, but it isn't dramatic enough to automatically justify a large increase. Courts typically calculate support using income formulas, but shared custody often balances those numbers.
Now, help me make sense of this. You give her $1,000 a month for the children. You pay health insurance. You all have a split schedule.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm missing something. Like, what is the issue? Why are we here? Because I would think that you bring someone to child support court if they're not doing something. I do understand making it legal, putting it in a document, but you're asking for more money. So I'm trying to get the disconnect here.
Now the judge asks the most important question in the entire hearing. Why are we here? When someone is already paying voluntarily, covering health insurance, and sharing custody, there has to be a clear financial gap. Without one, the case starts to look less like a support dispute and more like a personal conflict.
What is he spending money on?
She never lets me talk, so.
Okay, I'm gonna let you talk.
Exactly.
Okay.
What it is, Your Honor, she's, she didn't mention this, but she's engaged.
Wow.
And she just found out that I'm recently dating, so now she's mad at me.
Oh, I'm mad.
There
I'm
goes
mad.
the
Very
conflict.
mad.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
There goes the conflict.
I'm
Now,
not
I
mad.
asked what was the disconnect here. It was
And here comes the twist. The father claims the real issue isn't money at all, it's jealousy. According to him, the mother recently became engaged and only filed this case after discovering he started dating someone new. Suddenly, what looked like a financial case may actually be driven by relationship drama.
see what you're doing to this man?
He's on my side about this.
Of course he is.
So he agrees that he should be paying more than
Yes.
$1,000 a month
Yes, 'cause
in
like
child
I said,
support.
he has other women that he's pretty much
What does
tricking
his
money
other
on.
women have to do with anything?
he's spending
Quite
other money.
frankly, you shouldn't care. You have a whole nother man that you should be worried about, and you over
understand
here
that.
all in his business.
I'm not trying to be in
And
his
he doesn't
business.
even
You
work
are
there.
trying to be in his business because
The judge reacts immediately, and you can hear the skepticism. In family court, judges see this pattern all the time. When romantic tensions spill into legal disputes, it can muddy the real issue, the children. The judge makes it clear that who someone is dating has absolutely no impact on child support decisions.
because if what he's saying is true, that's not a good look.
I am not jealous. I'm not hating. I'm not coming by the house or anything looking for him.
Okay.
So again, the disconnect is
Stop spending that money on those other women and your
I
children.
need you to stop interrupting me
Yes, ma'am.
because you have not done anything to prove to me yet that this man needs to pay you even the $1,000.
At this point, the judge has heard enough to form a strong opinion. The mother keeps bringing up the father's personal life, but the court keeps steering the conversation back to finances and parenting responsibilities. Without solid proof that the children lack support, the argument for more money becomes weaker by the minute.
Ms. Henry,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
obviously came here to waste my time.
No,
okay?
no, Your Honor.
Yes, you did.
No,
Yes, you
no,
did. You are asking for more money, and he's giving just that. He's giving $1,000. He's covering the kids' tuition.
So what about clothing?
Y'all have a split schedule.
I
He
buy
needs
them.
to
I got
maintain
clothes at my
clothing.
house.
Excuse me, Mr.
Please, you
Henry,
bring the
excuse me.
kids
Give me a
back
minute.
home and they
Give me a
look
minute.
just-
Here's the reality of it. You all have a split schedule. You need to be providing clothing and everything for your home. You need to be providing clothing and everything for your home. This is what I'm
Now comes the ruling. Instead of increasing child support, the judge restructures the arrangement entirely. Each parent will now pay half of the children's tuition directly to the school. That eliminates disputes about where the money goes and ensures the children's education is fully covered. It's a practical solution designed to remove conflict.
on your own through your employer. You're obviously you know you can do that. The children can be double insured, but
True.
I'm not going to have him pay more than $1,000 or even continue paying
Honor.
$1,000 when, based on both of your testimony, you have a split schedule. That's what's in the best interest of the children, and that's what's fair.
Fair.
That is fair.
That's not fair.
Well, it is fair today. Did you have anything else?
You got it. You got it.
It's always about me, right?
It is.
I asked
It
you a
is.
question. Did you have anything further for today?
No, I don't.
Okay, Mr.
Just
Henry,
when
did
you
you
bring
have?
the kids back home, make sure they're dressed properly, please.
I bring them back with what they came
Oh,
with.
what? Okay.
Okay, well, Mr. Henry, is there anything further?
That's it, Your Honor.
If there is nothing further, you all are dismissed.
So in the end, the courtroom drama wasn't about unpaid support. It was about perspective. The judge saw two working parents, shared custody, and children whose major expense was already being covered. Her decision shifts responsibility equally and keeps the focus where it belongs, on the kids. And now I want to hear from you. Did the judge make the right call, or should the father have paid more? Drop your opinion in the comments, hit like, and subscribe for more real courtroom drama.
You all may be seated. Okay. Is it Miss or Mrs. Campos?
Mrs.
Miss, okay. You brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, I'm bringing my son to court to see if I can get some assistance for his son.
All right, guys, this one's going to hit hard. A grandma walks into court, not for herself, for her grandson. She says her son's child has basically been living with her. The mom disappeared, and now grandpa has passed away, so she's Ubering just to keep up. But here's the twist. There's child support money somewhere, and grandma says she's never seen a dime. So who's really been raising this kid?
So he comes and he says, look, she's gone and whatever. Okay, I just need some help with Julian because she left him too. Well, of course I'm going to say yes, you know. At that time, it was just me and my husband.
Listen to how she frames it. She abandoned the whole family. That's emotional, but the court is going to focus on one thing. Who has the child and who's paying? Because if the child has been living with grandma most of the time, that changes everything legally. The money should follow the child. And right now, grandma's saying the money is going nowhere she can track.
Last year, grandpa passed away.
I'm sorry about that.
Thank you. And things have gotten tougher because of that. So to the point where I came out of retirement, I'm Ubering when Julian's at school.
This moment is pure reality. Grandpa passed away, and the whole safety net collapsed. She came out of retirement and started Ubering while the kid is in school, meaning she's basically working twice just to keep the lights on. Family court isn't just paperwork, it's survival. Question for you. Should grandparents ever have to start over financially because a parent won't step up?
We had to move out of the house that me and my husband shared, and unfortunately, in this big city, the best place I could find is literally a one-bedroom. So thank goodness Julian's small right now. He can sleep on the sofa without too much discomfort. I have the bedroom. And so when he comes over and visits, of course he can't stay because there's no place.
Now the living situation becomes a legal issue. Grandma says she had to move into a one-bedroom, and the father can't even stay over. That's not just sad. It affects bonding and stability. Courts care about housing because it impacts the child's routine. And if dad has a big home, but the child caregiver is squeezed into a small apartment, the judge is going to ask, why isn't dad supporting the home where the child actually lives?
A little bit back ago, he went and bought Julian some clothes. He also bought himself some clothes. But what my grandson had told me was that if he could have some shoes like Juan. And I said, what do you mean? He got you some new shoes? No, he said, we went to the mall, we got his clothes, his shoes, and then he stopped at Walmart on the way home and got Julian stuff.
The Walmart versus mall story sounds small, but it reveals something big. Priority. Grandma's not mad about Walmart. She's mad about the message. Dad buys himself nicer stuff, then grabs the kid the cheaper option like it's an afterthought. Whether that's fair or not, it tells the judge there's a pattern. Dad is present sometimes, but investing selectively. Did that detail change how you see him?
Well, they tell me no, because with the Medicaid, they needed his information. They said that he's under child support. The mother has been paying the state child support all these years.
Okay, wait. So she's been paying child support to him?
Apparently so. I haven't seen one dime.
Okay.
Here's the bombshell. The state tells grandma the mother has been paying child support to the father, and grandma hasn't seen one dime, even though the child is with her and she's paying medical costs out of pocket. That's exactly how a case flips from help request to financial accountability. If support money is being collected, it must be used for the child. If not, the court can redirect it.
Okay. So you just want one to pay child support and you have the opportunity to get health insurance.
Well, according to them, yeah, health insurance, because I'm paying out of pocket these last 3 years, and I understood that they wouldn't even qualify him for Medicaid because...
The judge is narrowing the target. This isn't about punishing anyone. This is about unlocking resources for the child. Grandma needs health insurance info, cards, coverage details, basic stuff. And if dad has it but won't share it, that's not forgetting, that's negligence. Let me ask you, if you were the grandma, would you still be calm or would you be furious?
Mr. Campos, I'm not going to call you by your first name.
Okay.
Mr. Campos, okay. So is it indeed a fact that you have been receiving child support from the mother of your son?
Yes, I have.
¿Ves? Que
Okay.
te dije.
And you didn't tell your mom?
No, I didn't feel the need to.
Okay, wait a minute. Is it true that your son, your 6-year-old, has been living with your mom for 3 years?
Now dad admits it. Yes, he's been receiving child support from a mother. And then he says, I didn't feel the need to tell my mom. That line right there, courtroom suicide. Because if grandma is feeding, housing, and raising the child, hiding money and info from her looks like manipulation. Judges hate that. This becomes less about confusion and more about control.
You'd agree with me that help means that you need to give her something, right?
And I do pay the health care. The 150, I do pay that.
Oh, wait a minute. So that's the missing link here. So you pay health insurance for your son already?
Yes, I pay the 150.
Why didn't you tell your mother that? Why haven't you given her a health insurance card? Why haven't you given her anything? That's not fair.
It's not, but I paid for it. I thought that was, all I needed to do from my side. I didn't realize I needed to tell my mom everything.
What do you,
Dad tries to justify it. He's a club promoter, he travels, he needs help, so grandma watches the child. But the judge makes the key legal point: help isn't free. If someone is acting like the custodial caregiver, they need support, money, and medical access. Paying insurance, but not giving the card is pointless. The judge basically says, you're insured, but you're not served. That's powerful.
And you don't want to help her?
I do want to help her, and I thought she had all the help she needed. When Papa passed away, he left quite a bit of money for her, and I thought,
Okay,
it would help.
You just said keywords. He left quite a bit of money for her.
Yes.
Not for your son.
Yes.
Not for you.
Yes, and she keeps talking about going to Uber and such, but that's a pretty nice ring on her finger she has there. Don't know how many tips are
Your dad
needed.
got me years ago. This is not something I bought in the
And
last
why
3
does
years.
that matter?
And here comes the ugly pivot. Dad throws shade at grandma's ring, basically implying she's not struggling. That's a classic deflection tactic. Attack the caregiver instead of addressing the child's needs. The judge isn't buying it, because even if grandma had money, that doesn't erase dad's responsibility. Child support isn't charity, it's obligation. Would you call that disrespect or just desperation?
All right, Mr. Compose, how much money do you make a year?
48,000.
Really?
Yes.
You make $48,000 a year and you live in this big house in Plano
Well, then that's where all the
and
money.
club promoting?
That's where all the money goes to the house to make sure it's I have so many members
Plus
in
the
the
child
house.
support. They didn't give me the amount because I'm not on the case, right? But who knows how much she's paying?
How much do you receive in child support? Because if she makes that kind of money,
Just $1,000, and that's in that
Just
40.
a grand?
You know how much that would have
everybody
helped?
does not receive just a grand.
Yeah.
Everybody don't receive that.
Well, and that's why I paid for the 150.
You came here to waste my time. What is it? What is the amount? So you pay yourself $48,000. You pay yourself that, right?
No, it's from jobs that I try and.
How much is your rent, Mr. Compose, or do you pay a mortgage?
No, rent a month is about a grand 500.
Okay, so $1,500 in rent. What's your other expenses look
Your
like?
Honor, he doesn't rent. They did a big, huge housewarming party. That is his home. Him and her bought that home. It's not a rent.
So you really are wasting my time.
I am renting it. I'm not sure where she's getting that from.
They had a huge, and as families talk.
Now, the numbers start exposing the story. Dad claims he makes $48,000 but lives in a nice house in Plano, gets $1,000 child support, and still says he can't help grandma. The judge starts catching the fogginess. Rent versus mortgage, owning versus renting, details confusing. In court, when details get blurry, it usually means one thing: someone's hiding the real picture.
Yesterday.
Okay.
All right? So let me tell you what we're going to do. We are going to have the child support that you received, that $1,000, we're going to send it over to your mom.
Your Honor, if there's any way we can...
Yeah, hold on. I'm not finished. And I know you want to hear this.
Okay,
That's just mom's portion. You're going to pay too. So mom is going to be getting what? About, let's see, you said 40. Now I'm going to take your word for it. I'm going to take your word for it at that $48,000, all right?
Okay.
And you said $150 in health insurance?
Yes.
All right, so your gross comes out to $3,900. That brings your net to $3,280.28. And how many children do you have?
Just the one.
Just how many?
Just the one.
Just the one child?
Yes,
Okay.
just Julian.
All right. All right, so 20% of that brings your child support to $656. And that's giving you credit for the health insurance. So you have to continue paying that health insurance of $150. Child support to grandma is going to be $656, as well as the reallocation of the $1,000 that you receive from mom going to grandmother. So grandmother's amount in child support monthly is $1,600.
This is the justice moment. The judge redirects the $1,000 child support money straight to grandma because the child is being raised in her home. Then she orders dad to pay $656 monthly to grandma too, while he keeps paying the $150 health insurance. That's the court saying money follows responsibility. If this case stunned you too, drop your take in the comments, hit like, and subscribe for more courtroom drama like this.
You all may be seated. Mr. Johnson, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Just bringing her to court today to try to increase my child support. We have 3 kids together.
2.
All right, guys, this case, it's not just about child support. It's about status, pride, and 2 parents who can't stand each other anymore. A school teacher walks into court asking for more help with his kids, while his ex, now a real estate flipper, is flexing 6 figures. But money doesn't always mean responsibility, and this one turns fast.
Please don't get upset. Let's focus on the facts and the children.
All right, I'm bringing her to court today to try to increase my child support. We have 2 kids together, as I stated before I was interrupted. She makes quite a bit of money. I'm a school teacher. I only make $50,000. Kids on my insurance.
How much is your insurance?
My insurance is $500 a month.
All right. And it's you and the 3 children on there?
This teacher makes just $50,000 a year, and he's covering insurance for 3 kids at $500 a month. Meanwhile, the mother? She's a high-earning realtor. But here's the kicker. He says the kids are struggling in school while she's living a life of luxury. Can you really blame him for wanting more support?
I don't know how she finessed the system like that to, yes, y'all may need to look into that too.
You so mad that you
The
broke.
PP.
Ooh, ma'am, don't do that. Don't do that.
I didn't tell him to be a little teacher. That was on him.
Listen.
I'm a
I done
hustler.
tell you to
Like,
sell the little houses you sell either.
little
Ooh.
houses,
Little houses.
but you taking me to child support.
The moment she mocks him, calling him a little teacher, you can feel the courtroom energy shift. But she doesn't stop there. She takes shots at his income, his home, even the reason he filed. It's no longer about child support. It's personal now. How much of this fight is really about the kids?
No, I've been told you couldn't handle me. You couldn't handle somebody like me. But you kept at
I
it.
don't
You
want
knew
to.
who I was.
I didn't get my
You
first
knew
gray hair
who
until I met
was.
you, though.
You knew who I was. You're a whole
I
teacher
wanna
and you're
forget who
asking
you
for
was.
tutoring for our children.
Yes, that's what they need, don't they? So they can provide
Okay.
their kids with all of this
Okay.
luxury.
Did y'all want me to step out?
Look how fly she is. I had to go to Ross before I came here and buy this little old get up. Look at her.
Did y'all need me to
Right here, the emotion pours out. He's frustrated. She's mocking him. He even jokes about getting his first gray hair from her. And suddenly, we're deep into relationship trauma masquerading as a legal argument. The judge has to pull them back into focus. But the damage is already showing.
Don't do it.
Okay.
All right.
I won't do it.
Now, what is it you want me to know?
Your Honor, look, I am just trying to make a living. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't, we all have different paths. He chose to be a teacher. I chose to be a real estate agent. That's all. You know what I'm saying? And I just be getting slack from him because I'm in real estate, you know?
Do y'all
Like,
not get along?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
She finally speaks and tries to play it cool. We just took different paths. But behind that, she's taking jabs. She claims she's only catching heat because she's successful in real estate. But court isn't about who wins in life. It's about who's supporting the child. And that's where this case is headed.
Tutoring.
To level
Not
up.
for tutoring.
Okay, so you're mad.
I am mad.
Your Honor,
My kids can't spell.
Sir,
My son in the 7th grade counting on his fingers. That's
sir,
embarrassing.
but they live with you. You go to work from 9 to 5.
Well, how about
My
you
schedule
help?
is flexible.
You can
so
help.
with that extra time,
Mr.
what
Johnson.
should you be doing?
Mr. Johnson.
You should be helping our children, right?
Mr.
You
Johnson.
should be helping our children, right?
You said you were going to do the mannequin challenge, right?
Sorry.
So no loud outbursts. Don't be so mad.
Here's the dagger. My kid in 7th grade still counts on his fingers. That line is devastating. The judge jumps in immediately, because whether it's petty or not, the child's academic performance becomes legal ammunition. Question is, who's more responsible for that learning gap?
You money, right?
Ma'am, are you selling lemon homes?
No,
Lemon.
ma'am, I'm not. No, ma'am, I'm not.
They
I'm
name-
a flipper. Flipper.
Okay.
Flipper.
What is a flipper exactly?
So basically what you do is you purchase a home and you fix it up and you sell it.
Okay. That sounds like a nice little income.
Correct.
Right? How much are you making?
I'm making $150,000 a year.
She reveals she's a flipper, and she's pulling in $150,000 a year. But the twist? He's living in one of the homes she flipped. And still, he's dragging her in court for help. The judge is starting to connect the dots. If you live at her house and rely on her income, can you still attack her success?
Okay.
So I did.
Okay.
Wait a minute, sir. That's the second time you tried to put shame on her for selling food stamps and, you know, what you call rundown homes or lemon homes. And here it is. You're asking her for the assistance and you're living in one of the houses that she flipped. So what does that say about you?
That he a broke
That I-
little teacher.
This is the second time he's shamed her for flipping lemon houses. But now the judge flips the script. You're living in one of those houses. Boom. Just like that, the court exposes the contradiction. It's not just about who's right. It's about who's real.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry.
Okay. So the children live with you primarily?
Yes.
Okay.
In my flipped house.
$150,000 per year.
Great.
All right. 2 kids. That brings your gross to $12,500. Now, I hope you weren't anticipating receiving all of that $150,000 for, or her child
Honestly,
support to
she
be
could just
based
pay-
on.
It's time for the math. She makes $150,000. He has the kids, and the judge is about to hit her with a real number. The cap in Texas? $12,500 per month income for support calculation. But even with that cap, this real estate mogul's about to feel the court's weight. You think it's fair?
Moving right along,
Moving
her
right
net
along.
resources, they come out to $9,200 because she's capped. Based on her income, that brings her child support obligation to $2,300 per month. Reimbursing you for the health insurance that you carry for the children every month is $255, bringing your monthly child support to $2,550.
Okay.
God don't like
no,
ugly.
excuse
God-
me.
Here it comes, $2,550 a month. That's the ruling. $2,300 in child support plus $255 reimbursement for insurance. She immediately tries to walk it back. But I don't get paid monthly. Too late. In court, what you say becomes what you pay. And she said $150,000.
You mean like take them in a car?
Yeah, like if I take them to tutoring, can I reduce that? 'Cause
Yeah, I don't want her around me. No.
I didn't say you.
To
I
answer
said my children.
the-
You said that your concern
Did you
was
ask
them
me a
being-
question or did you ask him the question?
Okay.
Oh, okay. To answer your question, no.
Yes.
It does not. It has no impact on that whatsoever. Transporting your children to tutoring is called parenting.
All right.
This one's wild. He asks if driving the kids to tutoring counts as financial support. The judge shuts it down. That's called parenting. That one line slices through all the noise. Being present for your kids isn't extra credit. It's the minimum. Agree?
Ruling based on your frustration and your pain. I made a ruling based on what the law said I can do with what's in the best interest of these children. And if there's nothing further, you both are dismissed.
Me and my little teacher money
Yes,
about
you was
to
a little teacher.
walk out with this $2,000 though.
So here's where it lands. She walked in thinking flipping houses meant freedom. But the judge flipped it on her with $2,550 in monthly support. He gets legal relief. She gets a reality check. But what do you think? Did the court get it right? Drop your take in the comments, hit like, and subscribe for more courtroom drama like this.
Okay, Mr. Williams, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, Your Honor, I've been with the defendant for about 10 years now.
Okay.
We had children probably around my years, about 19, 20.
Okay,
And,
how old are they?
They're 8 and 5.
All right.
And right now, I'm an artist, Your Honor. That's how I met her. She was stripping.
I'm
And
an exotic dancer.
She was stripping, Your Honor.
I'm an exotic
And that's
dancer.
how I met her. They was playing me in the club. Because I'm an artist, like I said, Your Honor.
Oh,
And
you
she's
were-
the one slowing me down with the children.
Okay.
All right, guys, this one's gonna hit hard. 2 parents, 2 kids, 1 courtroom showdown. A father says he's raising the kids alone while mom's making 6 figures and showing up with Happy Meals. She says he's bitter and broke. But when the judge starts asking real questions, what unfolds might just flip your perspective.
And where do the children live currently?
With me.
And they've been living with you for the past 3 years?
They've been living with
okay.
me. She comes at 2 times of the week, take them to the park. She's taking them to get a kids meal, but I'm the one that's got to deal with the harassment because.
I gotta do what I gotta do.
What?
Ma'am, what is it with today? Everybody want to interrupt each other.
I'm so sorry.
Don't be sorry, just don't do it. It's that simple.
I got you, Your Honor.
She's coming in with a kids meal, Your Honor, on Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm doing the bond for my daughter on Thursday.
Okay.
You know, and getting them ready for school on Friday. And so that's what the problem is. Like I said, we just can't even stay together no more. And that's why I brought her to the court.
Okay, so you're asking for child support, health insurance. What health insurance do you have for the children?
I don't have any health insurance right now, Your Honor.
Okay, so are they on Medicaid?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else you want me to know before I move over to mom?
Right out the gate, we learned Dad's been holding it down solo for years. But here's the kicker. He met her while she was dancing, and now he says she's slowing him down. Is that fair game in a custody case, or just resentment spilling over? What do you think? Is past love clouding present parenting?
Kids are getting harassed in school right now.
Why are they being harassed?
Because she's stripping, Your Honor, and everybody knows it.
Okay, we're going to use exotic dancer because that's what she said her profession
Thank
is.
you, Your Honor.
And I think out of respect, you should refer to it as what she calls it, okay? It's her career, it's what she does. So that's what we're going to refer to it as, okay?
Yes.
So
Mom.
the children are being made fun of at school because of what mom does for a living.
Yes.
Okay, she was doing that when you met her, right?
Yes, she was. Like I said, they was playing me in the club. And she's slowing me down, Your Honor.
How's she slowing you down? What you mean by that?
She's slowing me down because she's not taking care of the kids. She's popping
how
in and
does-
out.
But how does that slow you down exactly?
It's slowing me down because I had a career, Your Honor.
Oh,
and
I
gotta
see what you're saying.
I love barbering.
Okay.
But they gonna learn how to barber with me because they up there with me all the time. I
Okay.
need some help.
Dad says he's doing it all. Meals, school prep, bonding time, while she comes around twice a week. And then, this bombshell. The kids are getting teased at school because of her job. Is that fair judgment? Or society shaming a working mom just trying to earn? Be honest. If your kid was in that classroom, how would you handle it?
And that's why we're here, yes, ma'am.
Okay, and they go to school during the day, right?
Yes, ma'am.
But on the weekends, they're with you at the barbershop.
Right, she gets them on Tuesday and Wednesday when she's off, but that's not enough.
Just Tuesday and Wednesday?
Just Tuesday and Wednesday.
They don't spend a night or anything like that?
Kids Meal and Park.
Okay.
Kids Meal Park.
That's what you're gonna.
Back
Excuse
home.
me. No, that's not what we're doing. You're not going to interrupt anymore.
If I'm lying, let them know if I'm lying.
You're not going to interrupt anymore. That's what we're not doing. Okay.
I apologize. I'm so sorry, Your Honor.
Stop apologizing because you keep doing it. Just don't do it.
Okay.
All right. Now,
You know I'm telling the truth, y'all.
is there anything?
The judge steps in with something powerful. Out of respect, refer to her work as an exotic dancer. It's a bold line in the sand. But underneath the titles and tension, a father's plea is clear. He needs help. Are we seeing a legal battle or the unraveling of two exhausted parents?
Yes. Hello, Your Honor.
Hi.
Yes, so I am here, not really sure why, because I take very good care of our children.
Well, you do know why. He just said he wants some help. You slowing him down. He can't cut hair the way that he needs to and make the money he needs to because the children are always with him.
I mean, they're not always with him. I do get them on Tuesdays and Wednesdays on my off days. That's something we agreed to because I'm bringing in.
Hold on. Let me just clear something up. Those are only days you get them, right?
Well, like full time. I see my kids all the time, but on full time, from sun up to sundown, they're with me on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
How many days
all
in a
day.
week?
There's 7.
All right, so you see them 2. So 5 is majority of the time that they're with dad. So,
Well, I go over there and I check on
am I
them.
missing some days?
No, Your Honor, you're not. But I go over there and I check on them, but they do stay overnight with him on those other 5 days. I have them on the days that I'm fully off, and I can tend to them and get them the meals that they like and take them to the park.
He's cutting hair, hustling, raising kids, and begging for more than Happy Meals on Tuesdays. But when the judge breaks down the math, 2 out of 7 days. That's not equal parenting. That's a weekend visit. Should support be based on time spent or just dollars made?
Yes. And
Okay.
After school, my younger daughter, she cheerleading.
But Your
Okay,
Honor,
are
I'm
you
the
taking them to
but I'm
cheerleading?
providing for them.
Okay.
He's not telling the
Okay,
financial
so
part.
let's talk about that then.
Yes.
How much money do you make?
I do very well.
That wasn't my
That's
question.
exactly what she told me.
Excuse me. That
100
I can't,
I'm
write
sorry,
down
I'm
very
sorry.
well on the child support order. I need to know how much you make in a dollar amount.
$180K a year.
$180K a year.
Yes.
How much of that $180,000 are you giving dad?
Well, not necessarily giving that, but on my children, because I don't give it directly to him. I take care of my children.
Wait a minute, hold on. The kids are 8 and 5.
Right.
So you got to give it to him. So what are you giving him to provide for the kids?
Well, I wasn't giving him anything to provide for the kids. When I check on my kids, I do for my kids, and I buy my kids
What
stuff.
does that mean?
That means like I provide things for them. I do when they're in my care.
Mom finally speaks and claims confusion. I take very good care of my children, but unravels fast. She admits she sees them just twice a week. The judge breaks it down plainly. There are 7 days in a week. Sometimes, courtroom clarity hits harder than any cross-exam.
That's when I provide for them. But
2 days a week in your care, right?
Well, full time.
We've established that.
Yes.
So what do you do beyond that?
But I can't imagine giving this man any amount of money that I work hard for, and he talking about this stripper, this and that. I'm an exotic dancer, but he didn't have that problem when we got together. And the years that we were together, he wasn't complaining then. But as regarding my children, I take very good care of them. I just can't imagine the hard work that I do. That's why my knee is messed up now, because I had an injury at work. And he knows that, and then he's begging for money. I take care of my children. My children have no wants.
Begging. He's not. He is not. He is not begging. He is telling you to do what you should do anyway as a parent.
But you're not here in private, Your Honor. He's trying to get back with me.
Here,
He does
1 second.
extra
Hold on.
stuff,
Hold on.
like-
Shh.
Now here's where it turns. She's making $180,000 a year, but giving nothing to dad? The judge asks directly, how much of that are you providing him to care for your kids? Her answer? Nothing. Is that financial neglect or her way of staying in control?
Doesn't make any never mind to me. What you say about her, what y'all's conversations are, that has no never mind, has nothing to do with child support.
Right,
okay? It's not a but. Let me ask you a question, because I don't want to derail this conversation in this case, because I have some more that I need to get to today. Now, if you're making $180,000 a year, why aren't these children on any type of health insurance?
Well, well, the profession that I have, you know, there's no insurance offered, and I mean,
well, it doesn't have to be. You're considered a independent contractor, right?
right.
That means you can get private health insurance.
Well,
Did you know that?
I'm not really sure how to go about doing that.
You can
but-
Google and say to the internet how to find private health insurance.
Right.
I'm trying to see
but
where
see,
she
but
get the
he has
180
his
from.
own barbershop, and through the barbershop, I figured he could, like, he's complaining about I don't spend time
I
enough
had
with
to
him.
start doing
He
that.
can figure
I
that
wouldn't have
part
been
out.
doing
Okay,
that.
hold on.
Because I can take my kids to the doctor, pay the copay out of cash, and be done. Like, insurance for what? I mean.
Then she hits back, claiming injury, claiming pride, claiming he's begging. But the judge calls it what it is, parenting. He's not begging. He's asking you to do what you should already be doing. It's a rare moment where the bench becomes the voice of reason. Did it shift your perspective?
Well, child support for what? Because you're definitely getting ready to pay. How about
No,
that?
wait.
Yes, no,
But
it's
Your
not
Honor,
a
he
wait.
didn't
No,
tell
ma'am.
you-
No, ma'am. You came here to waste my time.
No.
You did come here to waste my time. You make $180,000 a year, and you have not been doing what you need to be doing for these children. You don't pay for cheerleading. You pay for Happy Meals, and
But
I can't even say
he's
you pay for
acting
the
like
park
he is
because
a-
the park is
come
free.
from?
Your Honor, I just want to say, and he's talking about my kids being teased at school and all of that. No, he's the one being teased. He's the one that is brainwashing them to believe this stuff and want to turn my kids against me because I don't want to be with him any longer. That's the ultimate problem. That's why we're here. Because before this, Mr.
And then comes the bomb. She makes 6 figures, but the kids are still on Medicaid. Her defense? Insurance for what? But the judge doesn't play. Child support for what? Because you're about to pay. That one line? Cold, calculated, and completely fair.
Williams didn't have any problems with me financially, taking care of my kids, providing.
Your Honor, this
Baby,
is
I'ma
exactly
support
why
you,
we're not
and
staying
you go
together.
do what you need to go do those 2 days a week. That was our agreement. Now you want to bash me and make it seem like I'm not there for our children?
2
How
days
dare
out of the
you?
week, Your Honor.
No, it's not 2 days.
2 days
It's
out
not
of the
two-
week, and
but
she
can you
yelling
tell-
full time.
Okay, but what about that day you had an appointment and I had to watch them?
What about the day you left the kids at the house to go out with your
I would
friends?
never. You know what? See, you always bringing up old stuff. You know, you always going. Your Honor, at the end of the day, I make very good money. I do very well, and he wasn't complaining then, and now he wants to complain now, and I just don't know what to tell him. You know. But our kids is not an issue. They love me dearly. Please tell Your Honor. Please tell her that how much the
Your
kids
Honor, I don't
love
have to
me. They talk
brainwash
about
them.
me.
I don't have to
in a good
brainwash them.
way.
They already know.
No. They
'Cause they
talk about
getting
me
it
in
in
a good
school.
way. They love their mother dearly because I'm there for them. What memories are you making with them? Do they
Okay,
tell you
hold
how
on,
they
hold
act
on.
at the
Let me-
park?
Here, the truth cuts deepest. The judge lays it bare. Happy Meals don't equal support. The park is free. And if you're earning 6 figures but paying 0 for school, food, or health care, that's not parenting. That's posing. What do you call it?
Hold on.
They love the park.
Here's the memory we're getting ready to make because I made my ruling. You have capped out, according to Texas guidelines, your gross is $9,200 a month. Child support is set at $2,300. You're going to do
Thank
a
you, Your Honor.
reimbursement to Medicaid for $276, making your monthly child support payment $2,576.
That's how much you gotta pay.
No, that's how
Nah.
much you got to pay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
The children live with him.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I don't see the celebration.
Thank you.
Wait a minute. What happened to the celebration? Because you're the one that's paying that $2,576. The children live with him. He should not pay you anything.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And I said I made my ruling, so I really don't have to hear anything further. Did you have any questions about that number?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. Did you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right. If there's nothing further, the both of you are dismissed.
Suddenly, the blame game goes nuclear. She says he's turning the kids against her. He says she's making excuses. But the judge, she sees through it all. In just one ruling, she sets the number, $2,576 per month. And it hits like a gavel of justice.
Ms. Lopez,
Yes, ma'am.
you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Judge, I have a really great daughter. However, we have a kind of a bad situation. My daughter seems to be so busy sometimes that I think she knows she's a mom, but
All right, guys, this one's gonna hit different. A grandmother drags her own daughter to court, not out of hate, but out of survival. The baby's almost 2, mom's chasing school and work, and grandma says she's basically raising London while money stays tight. But when the daughter says she doesn't owe her mom anything, the judge turns this into a straight-up reality check.
She kind of has other responsibilities that she's kind of putting in the forefront of everything. And so it's the last 2 years it's kind of gotten difficult for me. We have one baby girl, her name is London, and she's almost 2, and my daughter is trying to go to college, work, be a mom, and everything else that she wants to be. And so it's just gotten to a point where it's kind of ridiculous because I need some assistance financially, and unfortunately I'm not getting it.
Okay. All right. And
Grandma isn't calling her daughter a bad person. She's calling the situation unlivable. 2 years of diapers, food, time, and stress adds up fast, especially when the child lives in your home. And here's the legal key. If the child is on Medicaid, the court starts thinking who's providing coverage and who's actually carrying the load. Would you take your own kid to court if you felt stuck?
yes, ma'am.
So I am a full-time student, college student.
Okay.
So I'm spending most of my times, at nights going to school. But on top of that, I also work for the university during the day.
What do you do?
I'm actually an intern, full-time intern for the psychology program. And so,
Is that a paid position?
yes, it is.
How much are you paid?
Well, I just got a promotion.
That's
to
good.
50,000.
Now the daughter speaks, and you can hear the grind. Full-time student, working at the university, and she just got promoted. Sounds responsible, until the judge asks the most important question. Is it paid, and how much? Because in child support court, hustle is respected, but income is what gets calculated. And $50,000 changes the entire math.
I just feel like I work, all day. I go to school at nights. I don't come home.
Congratulations. We all work all day.
Yeah, I don't get home until like midnight, and I don't really see why it's a problem that my mother, the grandmother of my child, has to.
Well, because I'm not the one that got pregnant on prom night. You wouldn't be having this problem.
Okay.
That wasn't my decision.
Okay, but you're my mother, right?
I
you
had
always
one
said
child.
you wanted a grandchild,
I
didn't you?
had one child. Yes, I wanted a grandchild, but it would have been nice if you would have got married first and had someone to share the responsibility with, not me.
The judge shuts down the "I work all day" argument instantly. We all work all day. That's not cruelty. That's reality. Being tired doesn't erase being a parent. Then mom drops the line that exposes her mindset. I don't see why it's a problem my mother has to, and grandma fires back with that prom night comment. Messy, but it reveals years of built-up resentment.
I can't do it by myself though.
You're not doing it by yourself.
I'm trying to use that money, right? So that way I can pay for my tuition for college.
Well, I can appreciate that, honey, but you know what? Your main responsibility is being a mom.
I agree with your mom. This is your child, and you said something very key while you were talking. You said grandmother.
Right.
You're her child. She raised you. It is not her responsibility to raise your child.
Right.
It is your responsibility.
Here's the emotional turning point. The daughter admits she's trying to use her money for tuition, and the judge agrees education matters. But parenting comes first. This is a core legal principle. Your child isn't on pause while you build a future. The judge makes it plain, grandma raised you, but she is not obligated to raise your child. Did that line hit you too?
I just feel like I don't really have to owe her anything.
You don't feel like you should pay your mother? If your daughter were going to daycare, you would be paying the daycare, right? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you feel like they should be paid?
Yes.
They're taking care of your child, looking after your child, changing diapers, feedings. They should be paid, right?
Right.
Your mother is doing everything I just named, correct?
Yes.
So it logically follows that she should be paid too, right?
Now the judge sets a perfect comparison. If London were in daycare, you'd pay daycare. So why wouldn't you pay the person doing daycare level work? changing diapers, feeding, watching, supervising, all day. That's the logic that wins cases. Services have value, even when family provides them. The daughter says, yeah, but her tone says she hates hearing it.
Yeah.
So what's your issue?
Well, she uses her money for the school loans, and I can appreciate that she doesn't want to have school debt.
Right.
But
Yeah,
now
that's a
that
good
she's
thing.
making more money, she's going to have to give me a little bit of that. They live with me. The house is paid. We don't have that bill. So I know she wants to be responsible and not have any debt, but you know, mommy doesn't need to be having no debt and worried about diapers and all that too. And she does try to help, but it's just not enough. And now that she's got a promotion, I feel like she needs.
Grandma comes in calm but firm. She's not jealous of college. She's drowning in costs. No rent, house paid off, but diapers and daily care still aren't free. And now that daughter's promoted, Grandma expects more responsibility. This isn't about punishing her child. This is about stopping the financial bleeding. Question: should grandparents be free child care just because they love the baby?
Needs to take a little bit more responsibility. I've done everything I can, sweetie.
You know that I'm a double major, right?
I know that, sweetheart. But like I said,
I can't afford
London
to
is
do that.
important too. So.
I know she is. And that's why I leave her with you.
Mm-hmm. Well, just like I did a good job with raising
I
you.
leave her with you, and you leave your child with your mother and do not believe that your mother should receive some sort of financial assistance.
I feel like I give something back by.
The daughter's argument is wild. I'll pay her back by being in school. The judge doesn't even let that slide. Future success is not current payment. You can't pay diapers with a dream. Then daughter says she'll open a clinic and take care of her kid by then, and the judge cuts right through it. You can take care of the baby now. That's the courtroom difference between hope and responsibility.
She was just.
Because she's your mom, you don't believe you need to pay her something.
That's what I thought.
Because if you think about it, you really don't live there. You just going to sleep. Mom is taking care of the baby. You'd agree with me, right? If you're coming in at midnight, the baby is with your mom all day. You're literally coming to the house, not seeing the baby, because if it's at midnight, the baby is asleep, I'm assuming.
Right.
And you're going right back out to go to school and work.
I tuck her in.
She's already tucked in, so you just pull the covers over a little high.
The judge pins down the real issue. The daughter doesn't believe she owes her mother anything because it's her mom. That's the entitlement the court is targeting. Family court isn't about feelings. It's about fairness. If someone is covering your child's life, they deserve support. And the judge is basically saying, respect doesn't pay bills. Money does.
That's nice, but what's going to be nicer is you're going to give your mother some of that money for taking care of your child, because she is footing the bill. She's taking care of everything. And if you think about it, technically you're not even living with her. You're only staying there at night for a couple of hours. Right. And the baby is with your mom. And I'm assuming this happens on the weekends too?
No, on the weekends she does stay home, and you know, she does help. And like I said, she doesn't like that night. She's not like that girl that goes clubbing and stuff. She does take that responsibility serious.
Yes.
It's just her job and school, and now she's going to work full time. Now she's going to be working more with the promotion.
Right, because I got that promotion.
You know, that kind of leaves us with a little extra money and no time, because we hardly had any time now. I can't even imagine what it's going to be like now that she's going full time.
This section is brutal and accurate. The judge explains that mom isn't really living there like an adult parent. She comes home at midnight, baby's asleep, and she's gone again. You're basically coming to sleep. That's not a moral insult. It's a custody reality. And then the daughter tries to spin it. I pull the covers up and read a story. Sweet, but that's not full-time parenting.
Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to start your child support so you can at least give mom some sort of assistance. Now, at the time that you move out of the house and you have the child on your own 100%, mom is not babysitting. Mom is not, well, not even babysitting. The child is living with your mom.
Okay.
If the child is no longer living with your mom, your daughter is with you 100% of the time, then you can come back and see me to stop child support at that time.
Okay.
But until that happens, mom is going to receive some sort of financial break essentially
Right.
until that time happens. So it's going to be based off your income, and you just said that you make $50,000 a year now. So at $50,000 a year, that brings your gross to $4,167. Your net is $3,516.78. There is a reimbursement to Medicaid. Now, you are working full time. You have access to health insurance now?
Yes. Yeah.
Do you know how much it'll cost?
I actually don't know. I don't know.
Okay, this is what we're going to do, because Medicaid reimbursement is about $375. That's based on 9% of your gross.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure your health insurance is cheaper than that for your daughter only. So what I'll do is order you to be responsible for that health insurance and give you a credit of $100 towards the health insurance, okay?
Okay.
So that'll make your monthly child support obligation $803 to your mother.
Sorry, baby. You gotta learn.
Okay.
Any questions? No? No questions?
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
You're welcome. If there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
Thank you.
Now the judge frames the ruling. Child support isn't forever. It's tied to where the child lives. If mom moves out and has London 100% of the time, she can come back to stop support. But until then, grandma is the primary caregiver, so grandma gets relief. That's a clean legal strategy. Support follows the child's household, not the parent's excuses.